Now, there are opportunities that were manifest during the pandemic. Is just some economic winners and losers. So, information processing equipment and working on your home, furnishings for home, that increased. Gasoline and energy decreased. Certainly, there were opportunities. And if you look at some of the stock prices, you can prove it in the stock price of Zoom or Amazon or Lowe's. So if you were smart enough to invest in those companies, that was certainly an opportunity that happened during COVID. But more important, I think that COVID inspired new ways of thinking. And so let's slow down a little bit and start talking about the future as opposed to wringing our hands about the past. We had these disappointments, but we had opportunities and challenges as we mitigated COVID. And those generated new ways of thinking. One of the main new ways of thinking is that this idea of complex adaptive systems are real, and the butterfly effect is real. Now, the butterfly effect is taught in project management courses, sometimes tongue-in-cheek, with the idea that, from chaos theory, that a butterfly flapping its wings in Tokyo could affect the weather in Manhattan. And you would teach that, as I said, you'd say, well, the damping of the atmosphere will probably make that not a reality. But guess what? A bat flapping its wings over a wet market in Wuhan affected more than the weather in Manhattan. So this idea of complex adaptive systems is real. The butterfly effect is real. We can't predict the future. We have to adapt to it. And that new way of thinking is going to have an impact on how we address many things. For example, climate change, renewable energy, education. Now, the Institute for the Future, they've looked at the effect of the pandemic, and they say that the things that will occur because of it can be put into four buckets. Things that will grow, things that will be constrained, things that will collapse, and things that will be transformative. So let's look at those four areas in relation to project management. So, for example, growth. What's going to grow? Well, obviously, optimizing remote collaboration. Whoops, what happened there? Optimizing remote collaboration is going to grow. It's upon us right now. Ensuring employee health. The pandemic affected companies right at the bottom line, so that's a field that's going to grow. Online retail and wholesale, that's already during 2020 equaled the brick and mortar retail and wholesale. Those are areas that are going to grow and affect project management. Areas that will be constrained, reduced travel. Customer interaction is going to be affected by this reduced travel. Even care for the elderly is going to be needs a new mindset, is going to be constrained. Things that are going to collapse. Trust in a predictable future. So someone graduating from college in 2020 is not going to trust the predictable future and the corporate ladder the way maybe many of us did when we graduated. And you need to be aware of that as a leader in your organization. Single loop learning is going to collapse. Single loop learning means you have a model for how the world works and you make your decisions based on that model, and the model doesn't change come hell or high water. Double loop learning, which we could put over in the growth area, you allow your model to change with new data. Another thing that will collapse is entering another's personal space. I mean, the idea of hugging and shaking hands with strangers is probably not going to be as part of the business environment the way it has been in the past. And what might be transformative? Education, especially people learning from home after paying $50,000 for tuition, is going to make people rethink what higher education is all about. Energy, and what might change in the world of project management in this post-COVID world. So let's look at some specific opportunities, and these opportunities are for the C-suite, they're for those with influence, they're for project managers, and they're also for individuals. So we were lack of control during COVID, post-COVID. Hopefully, we're back in control and we can engage in these opportunities and address these challenges.